These 10 cartoons aren't just bad, they're disasters. Kicking off the list at number 10, we've got Alan Gregory. And here's the kicker. This show came from a huge star, Jonah Hill. He co-created it and voiced the main kid. You'd think it'd be a hit, right? Nope. This thing was a huge miss. It aired on Fox in 2011 right next to The Simpsons, so they were betting big. The show's about this 7-year-old kid, Alan, who's just the worst. He's this stuck-up, snobby little guy who thinks he's better than everyone. But the show wasn't just unfunny. Let's be real. It was just uncomfortable. I mean, the kid has a crush on his super old principal, a woman in her late 70s, and he's always saying these weird adult things to her. It was just weird and not in a funny way. People hated it. Fox pulled it after only 7 episodes. It got a crazy low 2.4 out of 10 on IMDb. They spent around $3 million on an episode, which means they burned through $21 million for a show that just made everyone feel icky. Jonah Hill doesn't just talk about it anymore, and it's basically the perfect example of a huge Hollywood flop. Next up at 9 is Sausage Party, Foodtopia. You see, this is what happens when you try to stretch a movie into a series. The original 2016 movie was a huge surprise hit, but this new Amazon series from 2024, not so much. Seth Rogen and the crew came back. The budget was massive, like over $20 million for the whole season, but to be honest, the magic was gone. The thing is, the movie had one joke. What if food cussed? The series had to stretch that joke for 1 hour, and the result? It was just so lame. Endless, lazy food puns and old jokes that weren't even funny 8 years ago. And the crazy part, they just got rid of the main female character from the movie. Brenda, the hot dog bun, just gone. How do you do that? It's sitting at a 3.4 on IMDb because, at the end of the day, people were just bored. It's a classic case of a sequel nobody really asked for and cost a fortune. Oh, you knew this one was coming. Number 8 is Caillou. This show is famous for being awful. Every parent knows this one. It's about this 4-year-old kid who just whines all the time. The thing nobody tells you is that parents swear this show literally taught their kids how to be brats. I mean, in every episode, Caillou cries about something, and he gets it. He never learns a lesson. He never gets in trouble. He's just a whiny kid. And the show is yep, that's fine. The animation is super simple and boring too, with these pale, flat colors. It has a 3.3 rating on IMDb, but it's the #1 most hated show on every parenting blog ever. People were actually celebrating online when the network finally announced it was canceled in 2021. But hey, at least Caillou wasn't physically painful to look at. These next ones are. Okay, at number 7, The Problem Solvers. Seriously, this cartoon is just hard to look at. It was on Cartoon Network back in 2010. It was made by this artist, Ben Jones, and you gotta respect the art, but it looked like a mess. A total mess. The colors were just loud, like flashing neon green and pink that just hurt everyone's eyes. People were actually worried the flashing was dangerous for some viewers. The character designs were just weird, fuzzy shapes. The main guy, Alf, looked like a hairy mushroom on wheels. I don't even know. And the stories were just as messy. It was supposed to be about these guys solving problems, but it was just random. It felt like a bad dream. It's got a 2.5 IMDb rating and is pretty much remembered as that one ugly cartoon nobody could actually sit through. All right, brace yourself. The one at number 6 is just gross. It's called Mega Babies. This cartoon from 1999 was about 3 babies who fight monsters. And get this, they fight them with their own bodily fluids. Yeah, non-stop. The whole show was obsessed with snot, poop, and drool. That was the joke every single time. A monster shows up, and the babies win with a giant diaper explosion or a wave of snot. It was Rugrats, but if Rugrats was made by a 10-year-old boy trying to be as gross as possible. It even had a laugh track. That made the nasty jokes feel even weirder. And here's the kicker. It was co-produced by Sony and Klasky Csupo, the same company that made Rugrats. They were trying to make another hit and ended up with this. It's got a 2.4 rating and was even banned in some places for being just too gross for kids. At number 5 is The Nut Shack. Let's be real. This show is only famous today because of internet memes about how terrible it is. It was this adult cartoon from 2007 on a network called MyXTV. The story was about two nephews moving from the Philippines to live with their uncle in the San Francisco area. But the show itself was just awful. The animation was super cheap, like one of those old Flash videos that barely even moved. Characters would just slide across the screen. The jokes were just bad, just trying to be shocking. Talked about messing up stuff, but with zero cleverness. But the crazy part, this thing ran for 5 seasons. How? The theme song is the most famous part, just repeating the name over and over and over. It's got a 2.4 IMDb rating. It's just a perfect example of trying way too hard to be adult and just failing completely. These shows were bad, but these next few, they're brand new and they made everyone mad. Number 4 is a brand new disaster. This is Mr. Bircham from 2024. This show came from the Daily Wire, the conservative media company. It's based on a character from Adam Carolla. It's about this old school woodshop teacher who just yells about woke kids all day. The thing is, it doesn't matter what your politics are, the show is just not good. The animation is super still. It looks cheap, like something from 20 years ago. And there aren't really any stories. It's just a way to yell about the culture war. The characters are all like one-note jokes. It's not trying to be a funny cartoon. It's just trying to own the libs. It's sitting at a 2.1 IMDb rating. It's got famous because so many people hate-watched it on day 1 that it crashed their servers. That's something, I guess, but it's not a good cartoon. At number 3, a show that everyone was talking about, Velma. This 2023 HBO Max show was supposed to be a Scooby-Doo reboot, but here's the kicker. It was a reboot that seemed to hate Scooby-Doo, and it hated the fans. It had a massive budget. We're talking $10 million plus for the season. And the problem wasn't even that it was different. The problem was the vibe. The show was just mean. The jokes were all insults, fat-shaming, and making fun of you for liking old Scooby-Doo. It tried to be adult by adding gore and edgy themes, but it just felt bitter. And no dog. They got rid of Scooby. It's got a 1.3 out of 10 on IMDb. That's one of the worst ratings ever. And the crazy part, it got a second season, which people hated even more. It's a masterclass in how to spend a ton of money to make everyone mad. Coming in at number 2 is Breadwinners. To be honest, this 2014 Nickelodeon show is like the symbol of when Nick just stopped trying. It's about 2 ducks who deliver bread in a rocket van. I mean, okay, but the show was just loud. The 2 ducks, Sway Sway and Badoose, were obsessed with their own butts. That was the whole show. Non-stop butt jokes, twerking, and farting. The art was this ugly bright green mess. You see, kids who grew up on SpongeBob looked at this and were just confused. It felt like a loud, bad cell phone game. And get this, it cost $1 million an episode. They spent a fortune on this. It's got a 3.7 rating, but for a whole generation, this is the show that proved their childhood network was gone. But we're at the end, and number 1 isn't just bad, it's not just ugly, it's messed up. And here it is, the number 1 worst cartoon of all time, Ren and Stimpy Adult Party Cartoon. This one is a truly wild story. In 2003, the original creator of Ren and Stimpy, John Kricfalusi, got a deal with Spike TV to bring the show back, and they told him, no rules, no censors, do whatever you want. And oh boy, did he. What he made, it wasn't the Ren and Stimpy people loved. That show was weird and gross, but it was smart. This was just twisted. The jokes were gone. The animation was slow and looked wrong. It was just uncomfortable. The most infamous episode is Ren Seeks Help. In it, Ren tells a doctor, who is Mr. Horse, that he has urges to hurt things his whole life. And the episode shows it in detail. It's just dark. It's not funny. It's just disturbing. Here's the kicker. The thing that proves how bad it was, Billy West, the original voice of Stimpy, quit. He's a voice acting legend. He reads the new scripts and said, no way. He called it a betrayal of the show and said it was just wrong. He was replaced. The show was a total disaster. They only aired 3 episodes before they pulled it. It has a 1.9 IMDb rating and is known by everyone as a complete and total train wreck. It's number 1 because it didn't just fail. It took a classic beloved show and, well, it destroyed it. So what's the deal here? Many of these shows had huge budgets. They had famous names like Jonah Hill and Seth Rogen. They were on massive networks like Fox and HBO. So how did they all fall so hard? Is it just bad writing, or are just people just tired? Tired of being insulted, tired of lazy jokes, and tired of mean-spirited shows? The thing is, all these shows prove that, at the end of the day, animation is an art. And when you treat it like a cheap product, or just a way to yell about politics, or just to be gross, you get this. Are we missing a key detail, or is it really just that simple? Audiences just want a good story. You tell me. So, which cartoon on this list did you hate the most? And what's worse, Velma or Breadwinners? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.